Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you to the launch of Ellis Ross's downtown Vancouver campaign office here on West Broadway. And I'm right here with the man himself, the next leader of the BC Liberal Party, the next Premier of British Columbia, Ellis Ross. And my name's Azim Jawani, and I'm the communications director for the campaign. We had a great time on tour. Ellis, do you want to tell the people about what you were hearing from people on tour in the Kootenays, in Kamloops, all over the province where you've been?
Ultimately, what I've been hearing is that we need some change, not only with the BC Liberals, but also in terms of how we play out the political sphere here in BC. People are just tired of the bad politics, the division of politics, and ultimately, people want to know that their futures are secure in terms of being able to prosper.
Right on, perfect. So, in terms of some of the things you've heard from people in the urban region, we know you've been meeting with people in Metro Vancouver now and Lower Mainland BC over the course of the past, 3 months, really, and more so this past week. Do you have anything to say to them specifically, to the people who are here today and the people who are watching online?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's pretty specific about what's actually on the minds of urban people. It's actually affordability, it's housing, lack thereof, as well as transportation. I mean, the urban people have got their finger on the pulse of what it means in terms of global warming and emissions. They'd much rather prefer to see more transit, for example, more sky trains, and make it more affordable in that respect to get around Vancouver, because it's actually quite hard to get from downtown Vancouver to outside areas like Abbotsford, for example, or Maple Ridge, where you got to sit in gridlock for maybe an hour or two. And so that actually adds up in terms of emissions. So the urban mainland, they've got problems, but they do see some light in terms of what we're talking about in terms of our campaign.
Creating opportunities for people in particular. And that's something you've had a lot of experience doing, Ellis. Creating opportunities, better jobs for people who want to put family on the table, have a better life than their parents and their grandparents. You spoke to me about that earlier. Can you speak with the audience here? I know we've got a huge audience on Facebook Live. Tell them a little bit about your experience with creating jobs and growing our economy in BC.
Well, this is one of the most surprising things I learned coming out to talk to people in Maple Ridge, in Abbotsford, and Richmond, hearing that they want an economy in their own communities. I was quite surprised by that, because as a rural person, I really thought that there was plenty of opportunity down here. Not so. And that's my background. That's what I did previously to being an MLA. I actually got engaged with forestry, with mining. I actually got involved with corporate entities to actually set up shop and terrace in Kitimat, and of course LNG Canada. But what you don't know, apart from the LNG Canada project, that was $40 billion, the largest private investment in Canadian history. What you don't know was I was actually part of every LNG project in BC for the last 17 years. And that's talking about the Chevron project in Kitimat that recently just got canceled, which is a crying shame. But all the projects across BC, I was there. Now we're actually just left with the smaller projects like wood fiber out of Squamish, or say the Cedar project out of Kitimat, and some of the smaller projects coming out of Prince Rupert right now. So I was quite surprised to hear that urbanites actually have the same dreams of actually getting economic development going in their communities.
Right on. And in terms of natural resource development, Ellis, since you've got so much experience with that, we know that a lot of people in downtown Vancouver and BC's Lower Mainland, they're concerned about the environment, they're concerned about climate change. Could you speak to those projects and their effect on climate change and on the global climate? Because I've heard you say some things which people at home may not know.
Well, you know what? As part of my previous life, I was actually chief counselor of Housing Nation Council for 6 years. And prior to that, I was a counselor for 8 years. And that whole time, I participated in every single environmental assessment that was actually being carried out, whether it be by the BC government or the federal government. And I can tell BCers without any shred of doubt here that BC has high environmental standards. And if you match it up with Canadian standards, we are leading the country, if not North America, in terms of environmental standards. BCers, you should not be listening to the narrative that BCers are actually enemies of the environment. We're not. We're always trying to do better. If we haven't actually done anything to mitigate the existing projects, we're actually trying to remediate some of the past environmental impacts that actually, might have happened 60 years ago. So feel good about that, BCers. We're doing a good job. I know we can do better, right? And we do commit to that as British Columbians. And that's what I commit to, because that's my background. I actually got my start looking at environmental issues in my region.
Folks, right now, I just got an update from our IT director in the background. We have over 900 viewers live with us on Facebook. I'm told that's more than any other campaign by almost double.
Wow. Hey,
Ellis,
hey
you have anything
guys.
to say to the crowd?
Well, welcome back, guys. 900 views. That's pretty good. Tell your friends to sign up and tell them to kind of log on. We're just getting started here, and the excitement's starting to build here.
Right on. Please like the post. Please share the link. Tell your friends to tune in. We're now over 1,000. We've cracked 1,000 views, folks. 1,050 coming soon. Folks, please come and share that post with your friends. Share it with your family. Share that live. Like, comment. We want to see you there. We want to see you engaged. And right now, if you want to support what Ellis is doing, you can go to www.ellisrosscampaign.ca/fundraiser. And right there, you'll have the opportunity to donate to our special fundraiser that's going to help for this event and help make Ellis the next leader of the BC Liberal Party, the next premier of British Columbia.
Thank
Ellis.
you very much, Azim. And by the way, there's a guy here actually just showing us how many viewers are coming onto Facebook with a piece of paper. That's why I'm laughing. But we're having a great time down here. It's been a great campaign. A lot of positive people coming out. Got great positive young people actually working on a team. We're having a lot of fun.
We are. We're having a great time, and we're doing great, right?
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt. And we're just getting started.
We are. We're just getting started, folks. So please stay tuned. Ellis, I'm going to let you go. I know you've got a crowd to work, but I'll tell you what. Why don't you grab me your lovely wife, Tracy, and we'll have her say just a quick few words.
That will be actually quite the adventure. I will. I'll bring it back to you.
All right. Sounds great. Folks, stay tuned in. It's going to be a great show tonight. I'd love to have you comment again, like and share, and please do take a look at our Facebook posts. We're doing great. We're going viral. Big things. And we got Tracy Ross here. Tracy, please come up.
Tracy
Hi,
Ellis
Tracy.
Ross. Hi, Liam. Hi, Zim.
Hi, Tracy.
Hi.
So, Tracy, do you want to talk just briefly with the audience here today? We have over 1,000 people live on Facebook right now. Just give them a quick snapshot of your journey with Ellis in politics and why you're supporting him to be the next leader of the BC Liberal Party, the next premier of British Columbia.
So next to his mom and his dad and his brother and his sisters, his brothers and sisters, and his girls, Megan and Miranda, Parker and Elise, I think I could be the most genuine person of saying, after 36 years of being with Ellis, I think I should be the one to endorse him with the utmost faith, belief, and that he could do it. He will do it. He has a vision, and he sees his vision, and it's never going to change. It's always going to be the same for the people and for the people of BC.
And Tracy, what we hear a lot from our audience is that Ellis is unlike any traditional politician. He's something totally different. What do you think makes him so different, so new, something that's completely outside of what we normally see in typical politics?
Because Ellis is black or white. There's no gray about him. And it's always a yes or no answer. No, maybe.
He's willing to tell the truth.
Willing to tell the truth and be honest.
Exactly. No beating around the bush. And that's why we love him, folks. And that's why we're all here for change that can win. So please stay tuned. We're going to keep going. We've got so many more great guests to interview. Tracy, do you have any last words?
Vote for Ellis, February 5th, 2022.
Phenomenal. And I'm going to pull in our campaign manager, Mark Werner. Please, Mark, come on down. Now, Mark here, hey, he's a hero. He's made this whole thing happen. We've got a huge event out here. We've got overflow capacity. It's going amazing. And this campaign is just getting started. Mark, do you have a few words for the over 1,000 people tuned into our Facebook Live tonight?
I just want to thank everybody. The response has been just fantastic. And the amount of emails, the regards that people have sent from all over the world. Ellis has friends all over the world, all over North America. He's reached so many people. It's just such a privilege to be on this campaign, to work with them, and such a great high energy team. And this event is just, I'm standing here in awe, Azim. Thanks for all your help.
Incredible.
Thanks everybody for supporting Ellis. Text, we need donations. We need to keep going. We have to win. We have to win the change that can win this ABC to defeat the NDP. We need your help. Come and volunteer, plug in, text that number on your screen, plug into what we're doing, be part of it. Thanks, Azim.
Thank you, Mark. All right, folks. And we're going to get to the main event very soon here. We're just building up. We're just building up, and we're just getting started. But again, please like, share, comment, get engaged there. We want to see you. Text in the number. Text win. We want to hear you come in. All right, folks. We'll be back in just a quick minute. Randy, you gotta cut it out. Now.
All right, here we go. Let's do this thing.
Let's go. Perfect. And folks, thank you so much for staying tuned in. We've got a phenomenal event coming up here today. Again, please like, comment, and share. Text and win to the number you see on your screen. And please don't be afraid. Donate, volunteer, come on down. We want to see you and we want your support. And I'm here with somebody who's been so kind as to come down himself, Gavin Dew, a fellow contestant in the BC Liberal Leadership Contest. What a great guy. What a great guy.
Here. It's great to be here.
Gavin, tell us a little bit about why you're down here supporting Ellis's work, and he's supporting you. And, it's a great relationship we've got going. Why don't we talk to the crowd a little bit about that?
Well, I was actually just trying to go to my eye doctor that's 3 doors down, and I realized this was happening, so I thought I'd drop in. No, in all seriousness, you know what? Look, we're competing to lead the BC Liberal Party, but we're also working together to renew the BC Liberal Party. So I'm really excited that we've got a great slate of candidates, including Ellis, and I'm really, really happy that we're able to be together like this, to be talking in a constructive way about one another, with one another. That's why I'm really excited to be here.
Right on. Phenomenal. Gavin, thank you so much for coming down. And we're so happy that we're having a campaign that is truly inclusive, that has everybody coming in here together. It's phenomenal, right? The fact that, you have candidates from all sides coming in and having a great conversation, great dialogues like this, great events together. It's a win-win. Thank you so much, Gavin.
It's great to be here.
Right on. And John Rustad, right here. We've got our campaign coach here, BC Liberal MLA, John Rustad. John, please come in.
How are you doing?
Hey, John.
This is great fun.
And John, I want you to tell the crowd a little bit about why you decided that Ellis was the guy for you, when you knew he should run for leader, he would be a great premier. What was that journey like for you?
Well, I can tell you, I actually first talked to Ellis about running just as MLA, almost a decade ago now.
Wow.
And when I first met Ellis, and I said, hey, you know what? You have the leadership qualities that we need. You have the ability to be able to take the BC Liberals to a new level, to where we need to be, to bring about change. And so I pushed and twisted his arm, but ultimately it was Christie that did talk him into running. But he ran. He won twice now as MLA, and he's got that experience under his belt now to be able to bring that to the change that we need. And so I was thrilled when I talked to Ellis about the idea of leadership. He looked at it, he thought it, he was very thoughtful about it, and he said, yes, I think I can bring that kind of change that we need really to the party and ultimately to the province. And so it was an easy thing for me to do, to say, that's great. Let me help you. Let me be a co-chair in your campaign and try to help bring the team together. So yeah, it was very easy because Ellis has just got such great qualities.
Right on. And John, could you please tell us a little bit about how you envision Ellis Ross as Premier of BC and how you envision him as leader of the BC Liberal Party? Because we know it's changed. We know it's change that can win. It's going to be something special. John, what will that mean to you?
Well, I can tell you, one of the big things about Ellis that brings about the change that we need, he's not about spin. He's not about politics. He's just got leadership and good leadership qualities. And that's what people, I think, are looking for. He can speak to people's hearts. You know, people can relate to who he is from his background and experience, and he can draw on that to be able to provide the kind of leadership, quite frankly, that we need in this province. And so, you know, when you're tackling big issues, important issues like affordability, like housing, when you're tackling issues like resource development and the types of activities that support our economy, he's got that kind of approach because he can draw on his experience and he can draw on what really relates to people. And so, like I say, I think quite frankly, as leader, he's going to take the kind of change that we need in our party to be able to really diversify our base and grow. And as a province, I think we'll see remarkable things happen in this province that you know, we can all be proud of, being British Columbians.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. It's not just change; it's change that can
Win. I tell you, that's what we need.
Right there, change that can win. You heard it here, folks. Thank
All
you
right.
so much.
Take care. That's great. Looking forward to this event. It is going to be a lot of fun here.
Perfect, and thank you so much, John. And we'll let you go network and mingle with the crowd and have some fun. We got coffee and donuts here for those of you who have made it down in person. I know we've got some people watching the live stream actually on their phones here. It's crazy, folks. We're at over 1,000 views. Can you believe it? Can you believe
it? Well over 1,300 now that have signed in with this. It's really quite remarkable.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
Yep.
All right,
All
John.
right, take care.
Thank you. Perfect. All right, folks, stay tuned in, and we're going to be back live in just a few moments.
All the folks outside in the overflow, come on in. We're going to get our program started. All right, everybody in the overflow, come on in. We're going to start our program. We want to thank everybody for coming to our Super Center launch, our campaign office. This has been a very exciting campaign so far. We started in March when Ellis indicated his intention to run for the BC Liberal leadership. And it's been exciting since then. It's been transformative. We put a team together. We've got a team of volunteers, many of them present here today, and many people watching. I just saw that we had over 1,250 people watching. That is 4 times any other campaign for the BC Liberalship. There's truly excitement in the air. People are excited about Ellis Ross and his intention to win. Now, we're very privileged to be here in British Columbia, very privileged to be here in Canada. And you know that Ellis feels that way. And so I have somebody very special that we've worked with before who's going to come and sing the national anthem. We're so happy. You may have seen her on the Seahawks games, or you may have seen her at any of the big events here in Vancouver, I want to welcome to the stage, through the national anthem, if you would all rise, from Maria Huey.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you so much. That's fantastic. I could see Ellis looking at me. Holy mackerel, where'd you find her? That's fantastic. And I was just corrected by my good colleague, Tyler from Gavin Dew's campaign. I says, I can't believe it, 1,200 people watching. His, hey, buddy, it's 1,300. So regards to Tyler where he is. He couldn't be with us tonight, but really appreciates working with Gavin's team and Tyler especially for his great reminding me. He'll text me just before we have a campaign manager meeting with the BC Liberal Party. You're going to be on in 5 minutes. You know, we're going to be late. And he texts me. I said, where's the login? So he sends me the login. Tyler's very organized. So I think that's just great. We're going to get started here, folks, today. And what I want to do right now is we have a very special production that's put together by Vivian Krause. And we're just going to watch a short video that tells you a little bit more about Ellis and his life story and why he's running for the BC Liberal leadership.
My name is Ellis Ross. I'm an Aboriginal born on reserve in Kitimat Village, BC. Initially, when I got into politics, I let my name stand at nomination because I thought I could take some of my council's resources and help my basketball teams that I was coaching, men's, women's, girls, boys, only to find out that my band was one of the poorest bands on the west coast of BC. We had no money. And so that opened up my world to what governance was all about. I had to think outside the box to help people that truly needed help. So I kind of grew into the role. I come from a tough background, but with hard work and with some dedication and sacrifice, myself and my wife carved out good lives for ourselves. And now our children are actually on a better path. So I always keep that back in my mind that the general population, you know, not all of us are educated or well off. It helps when leaders understand this. So when I became a leader of my community, I decided to actually work as hard as I could to bring opportunity. First for my community, but then I realized that the region needed opportunity. And so it kind of went hand in hand. That led me to the MLA's position, where I thought that the failure of LNG in BC was something I could fix, I could help. And so I resigned as chief councillor and got elected as MLA twice. In my learning curve, in terms of looking at society as well as our economy, there's one thing I noticed. Through the toughest times, the well-educated people do okay. They're fine, they can survive. But the people that need a helping hand, you know, suffer the most. And so I'm all for the economy for a strong province, strong communities. But I've always thought about those people that need an extra hand. And that's what I try to do by creating the opportunity so that somebody can walk through the door to that opportunity. I think I'd bring a different perspective. As British Columbians, considering where we're going in the next 10, 20, 30 years, we've got to put aside our politics and we've got to rethink where our future lies. Because if we don't, we're in for some dark times. And more importantly, our kids will be in for dark times. And I don't want that to happen. We're in a unique position right now to consider the leadership of a party that knows how to develop an economy. And I'd like to take the skills and expertise of BC Liberals and take that to the next level. The past 4 years, I've been listening to British Columbians and BC Liberals saying that we need change. The BC Liberals have to change. I might add that as British Columbia as a province, we need change. And I am that change. I'm Ellis Ross, and I'm running to be the leader of the BC Liberals. Please visit our website, ellisrossforbc.ca, for more information and, more importantly, to learn how to sign up as a BC Liberal member so you can vote for me on February 5th, 2022.
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. That's just awesome. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to introduce Azim. He's the Director of Communications. He's going to introduce the team and he has a few words to say. Azim.
Well, first off, Mark, thank you so much. I've got to say, we've got the hardest working campaign manager in all of politics in Canada. We really do. So folks, please give a hand off to Mark. He made this incredible event happen, this incredible center happen. We couldn't have done it without him. Now, we got so many great people tonight, and I know I'm not going to be able to get to everybody, but we've got John Rustad, our campaign co-chair. We've got the candidate himself, Ellis. We've got his beautiful wife, Tracy. We've got our membership chair, Primrose Carson, here. We have so many great people. Gavin Dew, who some of you in the over 1,000 watching our live stream might have already seen. So I want to thank everybody here for showing up, for tuning in, for being a part of this grassroots movement we're building. And I want to ask you to do one thing. Text 778-718-0985 and text WIN to that number. And you're going to have the opportunity to see our special link that we're using today for this event to help us fundraise so we can make Ellis the next leader of the BC Liberal Party, the next Premier of British Columbia. So thank you everybody for showing up. Thank you everybody for tuning in. And I'm so proud and I'm so happy to introduce my friend, Ben Lawden, our campaign's coordinator. Here you go.
Well, hello and welcome everyone to this special event. And I want to say a huge thank you to all of our volunteers. We would not be able to get to where we're at if it wasn't for the countless hours of our volunteers helping out with events, setting them up, making phone calls to the membership and to the undecided, and being able to get involved in this campaign to bring us to where we're at. Thank you so much. I also want to say a huge thank you to all those who have parted with their own money in difficult times to help fuel this movement and get us to where we're going and beyond. We thank you so much. We can't wait to see you at more of these events, including tonight. One of the great things about my job as campaign coordinator for the Ellis Ross Leadership Campaign is that I get to speak with countless scores of British Columbians across this province, from areas that have been destroyed by wildfires or those that have been ridden by crime and drug abuse. One thing that I notice that everywhere we go, there are signs of resilience and that the people of British Columbia are very strong, and there is a lot of attitude and productivity being brought into this campaign to fuel it. It's fueled by people just like you, and just like you, people just like you are what makes change that can win possible. So I want to thank you all for that. It really reminds me that this has become more than a campaign. This is a movement for change. And each and every one of you can be part of this movement by change by signing up as volunteers and joining our campaign for change that can win for this province. This new campaign supercenter will be the centerpiece of our campaign. And we're going to have lots of tables set up here for volunteers to get involved. There's going to be many opportunities, and I encourage you, if you want to sign up as a volunteer, come see me afterwards. We also, in order to make these operations run smoothly every day and be able to tour across the province, we really need donations as well. We're always looking for gracious donations. So please, if you're thinking about donating today, 50 or $100, just consider doubling it. Consider what $100 could do, what $200 could do, 500, 1,000, whatever you can do, whatever you can manage. Please, we would love your donations tonight. And with that, I want to thank you all again for coming. I'd like to introduce you to a very special person on this campaign, an absolute pillar of this campaign, someone who I continue to learn from every day, the BC Liberal Party caucus critic for forestry, a man who I continue to learn from all the time and who love working with, Mr. John Rustad. Everybody welcome John Rustad.
Thanks a lot, Ben. And it is really great to be here. It's great to see everybody here. This is really an exciting time. Before I go into my comments, though, as co-chair of the campaign, I have a really great partner who's really been able to step up and help it, and that is Suzanne Anton, our former Attorney General for the province of British Columbia. And she has a very special message as well that she'd like to bring. Unfortunately, she can't be here tonight. Although she's no longer in MLA, she's still doing a lot of work. She's on a lot of boards, and she's in Toronto right now. So if we could just cue a message here from Suzanne.
Hi everyone, thanks so much for coming tonight. I'm Suzanne Anton, co-chair of the campaign, former Attorney General under Premier Christy Clark, and huge supporter of Ellis Ross's. I know every one of you who's here today, you are either a supporter or you're about to become a supporter. There's going to be lots of messages over the evening telling you how you can do that through memberships or donations. But remember, when you do it, you are supporting the most interesting, the most transformational, the best candidate for the BC Liberal leadership. Thanks everyone, and have a wonderful evening.
It's been an absolute pleasure, I can tell you, to work with Suzanne, but in particular, to work with our great candidate, Ellis Ross. I mean, he is just a man who, through leadership, not politics, not spin, through leadership, has really won the hearts of everybody who's been involved in this campaign. It really is a remarkable movement that has come. And I've known Ellis now for quite some time. I've had the pleasure to get to know him, to get to know his family a little bit as well. And I can tell you, those sort of qualities are what really speaks to the heart. And ultimately, when we're talking about a province, when we're talking about what we need to do, we need to be able to touch people's hearts, to bring them in, to build the trust, to build the change that really can win. And I'm very honored to be able to be part of that and to be co-chairing here with Ellis. But I tell you what, there's something everybody else can do. And that is, you can help out, get involved in the campaign, sign up, if you feel like making a donation, $5, $10, whatever it may be, just send text WIN to the following number, 778-718-0985. Just by doing that, we'll reach out to you. We'll talk to you. It'd be great for donation or get you involved in the campaign. And to tell you something, it is a lot of fun. We are here right now in our campaign supercenter. We're here for the opening of this campaign supercenter, and this is going to be a hub of activity for our campaign. We're going to have lots of volunteers that are in here. We're going to be doing calling. We're going to be holding events. Of course, Ellis is going to be in here from time to time doing work, but he's not going to be here too often. We got to make sure we get him out and around the province because, quite frankly, he's on really high demand right now. But so I just want to ask everybody one very important question here. What do we want to see? Can change win? Look, guys, we could do way better than that. In order to be able to win this leadership, in order to be able to win the next election, more importantly, we need change that can win. So let's hear it. Can change win? Yeah! All right, that's great stuff. Like I say, it's great to be able to be here. It's great to see people out and engaged in the campaign. Campaigns could be so much fun. And but I tell you, one of the things that's important though, as well, is membership. Membership is critical because ultimately that's what this is about. You got to sign people up. You got to get them out to vote. And we have somebody who has been extraordinary working on our campaign, doing the kind of things that we need to do to be able to focus on that membership. and that is Primrose Carson. So if I could ask Primrose to come up, she's our membership chair, just to share a few words.
Thanks, John. So, folks, to support Ellis, you need to become a member to vote for him in the February leadership vote. That will take place on February 5th of next year. And I know a lot of you are members here tonight, but if you're not, Ben and others have membership forms at the back of the room that you can get and fill out. And for those of you that are members, I ask you to maybe take some forms and see if you have some friends and family that you can talk to them about Ellis, and get them to sign up, because that's how Ellis wins, is having members of the BC Liberal Party vote for him in the leadership. And for those of you that are viewing at home, the same thing. Just go to the Ellis's website, ellisrosscampaign.ca. It'll take you to the membership form site that you can sign up to support Ellis, or you can text WIN to the number is 778-718-0985, and somebody will reach out to you and will help you fill out the form and take your information. So that's it. Sign up. If you're not a member now, sign up and ask your friends, relatives, neighbors to support Ellis. Thank you.
Thanks, Prim, so much. And Prim worked so hard for the campaign, and we're so privileged to have her here today. Okay, next what we're going to do on the agenda is we're actually going to have a very special guest come up in a minute. And like I said earlier, I mentioned Tyler, one of my colleagues, campaign manager. We have a very special guest here today, Gavin Dew, and we've really come to appreciate Gavin and his campaign and the synergy between the campaigns and our sincere desire to change, not just people talk about the name change, but maybe the changing the party, so that we can fundamentally beat the NDP. And so we really appreciate this energy and the friendship with Gavin. I want to call him up now, give him liberty for a minute to share and say hi and just greet everybody. Gavin Dew.
Thanks so much, Mark. So for those of you that are watching on the live stream from outside the Lower Mainland, you may know me from my time working to get the Trans Mountain Expansion Project built. For those of you in the Lower Mainland, you may recognize me from my time as a suicidal candidate punching bag for the NDP, running in the strongest NDP riding in the entire province, Vancouver Mount Pleasant. For those of you who have been watching the leadership race, you may recognize me as the guy with children much more photogenic than me. Now, you may be wondering, what the heck is this guy doing here? Am I in the wrong room? A lot of Ellis Ross signs up there. If you're on the live stream, you may be wondering, did I get my signals crossed? What is happening here? And here's the deal, folks. Me and Ellis, we got a 2-for-1 deal for you. You come to one event, you get 2 candidates. Who else is offering that kind of value? That right there is value for your dollar, folks. 2 candidates, 1 event. But in all seriousness, Ellis, Mark, the whole team, I want to thank you for the opportunity to be here today. This is my home, Vancouver. It's notable. It's unusual that I'm here, but it's notable. I'm competing directly with Ellis to win and be the leader of the BC Liberal Party. But we're also working together to rebuild the party, to change the party, to renew the party. And I'm very proud that this leadership race is really about all of us working together to move this party forward. Because you know what? It would be easy for us to focus on the things that divide our party. It would be easy for us to do that, but it's a lot harder and a lot more important for us to focus on the things that unite our party and ultimately that unite our province. We're a Big Tent party, and in some ways, me and Ellis are 2 very different poles of that big tent. But we're in the same tent working together. And as British Columbians, we need to be in the same tent working together, because the problems we face don't care about some artificial urban-rural divide. The reality is that Ellis comes from a community that has struggled, a community that has struggled with hopelessness, with addiction. I ran to represent the downtown east side, which is a community that has struggled with hopelessness, mental health, and addiction. And those places are knit together because in so many cases, people that come from rural British Columbia end up in places like the downtown east side struggling. But we're also knit together when it comes to opportunity. Now, here's the thing. Ellis comes from a community that was lifted to great hope, a community that saw great opportunity as a result of the resource sector. I'm a guy who grew up in Vancouver, and the resource sector put food on my plate as the son of a mining engineer. Our province is one province, and we need to be unified. And as a party, we need to be unified, and we need to change to suit the changing times, which is an understanding that Ellis and I share. The reality is we are about to go through a major, major change in the way elections happen in this province. We're going to see electoral boundaries change that shift a lot of power from rural to urban BC. So if we want to win elections and represent all of British Columbia, we're going to have to make sure we're much more competitive in the urban and suburban ridings that we have lost ground in. And that's something that I'm very, very focused on, and I will continue to be very, very focused on as we move forward. So I'm so thankful at the very warm greeting that I've received from Ellis's team. I'm so thankful that we all understand that we're working together toward common goals, and we all can focus on moving forward together. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks, Gavin. And now we're going to have our ceremony. We're going to have our ribbon cutting of our official Super Center call center. I'm going to have Azim. We're going to move the podium. Ellis, John Rustad, we're going to have you come up. And I want to acknowledge that Ralph Sotan, former MLA, everybody say hi to Ralph at the back. Vivian Krause, team member. Great to see you here. Thanks so much for coming. And now, Ellis, if you'll take the big scissors. Now, let me tell you, it wasn't easy to find these scissors. But we're so happy. Okay, so come on in here, Ralph. We're going to give Ralph one of those big things that you wave around and yell and cheer. Here you go, Ralph. There you go. All right. He knows the drill. All right. So, folks, let's all get ready to a big applause as we open. This is the official grand opening of the campaign Super Center for Ellis Ross campaign. This place will be full of people calling all over the province to promote Ellis Ross for the leader. Go ahead, folks. 2, 1. Yay! Awesome. Good job. Thanks. If you notice, John Rustad had a little pair of snippers there. We were going to use a hunting knife, but we thought it might look a little bit redneck. All right. One of the things that, one of the privileges that I get as campaign manager is to actually introduce Ellis. And Ellis is the most humble person I've ever met. He doesn't like to focus on a lot of his accomplishments, but he's always thinking about the future. What are we going to do about this? What are we going to do about that? And so one of the things that I do, because he would never do it, is talk about some of his accomplishments. And many of you don't know, but in 2012, Ellis actually won the Diamond Jubilee Medal for Community Service in 2012. In 2012, he was also named one of the BC Business Magazine's most powerful people of the 50 top people in BC. In 2014, he received the Order of BC. In 2012, he received the Queen Elizabeth II Jubilee Medal. In 2013, he was named by Canadian Business Magazine as one of the most influential people. He's spoken on Economic Club Canada. He's been in many Economist magazine panels. He's spoken on the BC Business Council. He's spoken for the Conference and Board of Canada. Ellis also was the key person, an instrumental person in having LNG Canada build the largest construction project in the history of Canada, which is ongoing today, perhaps one of the largest projects in the world, which has funded this province with economic prosperity that is still continuing today. These are truly a major achievements. This is the kind of thing that makes him qualified to lead this province and to infuse that kind of leadership into this province. I want to introduce to you now the next leader of the BC Liberal Party, and the next Premier of British Columbia. Folks, welcome Ellis Ross.
Wow. That was quite the event. Mark is my campaign manager, and you met our young team. We've got another member that's not here today. Her name is Shannon Cooley, who in her service to us broke her arm in 5 places at one of our events down at Vancouver here. So she's not here today, but she's pretty instrumental in terms of where we are today. And I've got a whole speech laid out, but I don't think I'm probably going to read it. What you're seeing here is kind of a reflection of what I think about leadership. I'm not the answer to everything. Leadership, in my mind, is the ability to put people around you that can share your vision and can implement it. And so that's why you see all these young guys out here. That's why you see Shannon out here, John, Suzanne and John were one of the first 2 people that actually from the very get-go had the faith in me. No matter what happened, the hills or the valleys. Oh, jeez. Woo! Mark, I'm holding you accountable for that. A balloon popped. Anyway, John, Suzanne actually from day one had faith in me. And through the good times and bad times, we just kept plugging along. We pulled in Mark as our campaign manager. He pulled in some younger guys. He pulled in Chad Bowie from back east. And people just started signing up. It's incredible. It's actually, I'm enjoying myself. I was warned about how grueling this would be, how miserable it would get, how negative it would get. I haven't experienced that. I've actually experienced the opposite. Coming down here to meet the team, the people I haven't met before, we come in the office here, we had a bunch of laughs. Everybody's here and enjoying what they're doing. And that's what I think about leadership. We're all pulling in the same direction. We all got our jobs to do. We all stay in our lanes, but we got a common objective. That is what brought success to Kitimat, Skeena, Terrace. That's how we did it. It wasn't just one person. It was a collaboration with different groups, different companies, different levels of government, different First Nation communities, non-First Nation communities. That's how we did it. And every leader of that organization actually, along the way, believed at some point that we could pull this off. And that's why you see the $40 billion project in Kitimat that's actually halfway built right now in Kitimat. Halfway built. Amazing. The largest private investment in Canadian history is being built in Kitimat. That is what brought tens of thousands of jobs to BC. That's what brought all the contracts. That's what brought all the training opportunities. That's what uplifted a generation of people out of poverty. And in my mind, we were just getting started until the NDP got into power. Have you noticed this NDP government has not mentioned once the $40 billion investment happening in Kitimat? They have not mentioned the idea that Chevron, the $30 billion project, got shelved. They haven't mentioned the other 16 major LNG projects proposed for BC are gone. They haven't mentioned there haven't been any new mines opened or expansions, even though the world is looking for these mines to provide the minerals for the revolution of the electric car industry that's supposed to happen in this generation. They haven't mentioned it. They haven't actually mentioned anything about the idea that the United States doesn't want to stop in BC ports when they're cruising from Washington State to Alaska. They haven't mentioned it. And it's a crying shame is because the private sector in combination with the public sector is what makes BC a great place to live. Somebody's got to pay those bills. When we're talking about those hospitals and highways, somebody's got to pay those bills. It's got to be a partnership between government and the private sector. Right now, we're seeing the private sector being stifled. We're seeing them being chased out of BC. And this is wrong because BC, at the end of the day, is a great place to live. Yeah. It's a beautiful place to live. And even though I had a tough life back in the 90s because I couldn't find a job, even though that happened, there was a government that came along that did make it happen, that picked up the economy, that understood that the economy means something to the people of British Columbia. That's why I joined the BC Liberals. That's why I joined them. Because ultimately I thought every British Columbia needs a future. They need the ability to go after their future. I don't see that happening right now for our kids and our grandkids. I don't see that. And that's a shame. And what I want to do is make sure that my kids, my grandkids get the ability to stay in my community and get a good paying job that can actually pay off a mortgage. That can actually just get them to prosper. This is more than a right that I'm talking about. This is a privilege I'm talking about. The ability to actually live in a free society takes work, takes discipline. And yeah, it's not pretty at times, right? It's not pretty, but the hard work that we put into it is worth it. It's definitely worth it. And all you got to do is come to Kitimat Terrace and see the results of what it means to struggle and work hard for something you believe in. I believe this is where BC should be heading. If we're going to talk about BC being the gateway to Asia, why did we shut down our trade offices in Asia? Why did we do that? That doesn't make any sense. Why are we not opening up trade relations with the United States in relation to the cruise ship industry? Why are we not opening up trade relations with South Africa that wants our lumber product? They want it. It's because we're not actually looking after the private sector. And to be honest, I never supported the private sector when I first got started, but then as the years going by, I understood what it meant to society. I understood what it meant to the individual. And back when I was a chief counselor, I always said something: you can't have a strong community without strong members. You can't have it. And if you don't have those two, you don't have a strong society. That's why I'm running for the BC Liberal leadership. But ultimately, in my travels all across BC, the one thing that I've heard from British Columbians in general is that we need change in two areas. We need to change the BC Liberals. Good, I'm there. I represent change. I've done it before. That actually, my change of opinion on LNG, for example, that's what created all our success and prosperity. I can do that for BC. The other area that I've actually heard from British Columbia is that we need a change in terms of politics. Too much politics, too much division, way too much. We're pitting British Columbians against British Columbians for political purposes. That is not the background I come from. In fact, if anything, the background where I come from, I saw that happening in my community. It divided us right down to the family unit. So I got to learn a lesson there. And that's something I want to bring to BC and saying there's no need to fight against British Columbians. We can have differences of opinion. We can have that. That's what makes a society healthy. But we can't be opposing each other based on politics. We can't do that. In response to this, what we're getting in terms of our meetings all across BC, everybody's coming to our meetings. We're getting NDP members coming to our meetings and actually signing up to be BC Liberals. We're getting Conservatives. We're getting Green Party members. We're getting Liberals because they're starting to understand the idea that the phrase "we're in it together" means more now than ever before. We're at a junction in our history. This COVID has actually made us sit up and take notice of how important society is, how important family is, how important our future is. We're at a juncture. So we got a choice to make. Do we want to continue and spiral downward in terms of where COVID has taken us, in terms of our mentality, our mental wellness, our society wellness? Or do we want to do something different? Do we want to start building up BC again? I'm all for building up BC, but for that, we have to change. And it can't be just a name change. It can't be just a brand name change. It can't be that. It's got to be fundamental. We've got to take this idea of a big tent party to the next level. We've got to accept everybody, no matter what their opinions are. Even if they're untasteful opinions, we got to bring them in. no matter what party affiliation. That's what a Big Tent coalition means to me. We got to make it bigger. If you have never signed up for a political party before, now is the time to sign up for this one, because I intend to make this a party that represents BC. And that's just part of the change I propose. So thank you very much, British Columbians. I really appreciate the welcome you've given me all across BC. Thank you to my team. Thank you for everybody coming out today. Thank you to Ralph Sultan for showing up. I really appreciate it. Ralph was my house partner in the legislature for the last 4 years before he retired, and he's still a good friend of mine and a good mentor. So thank you very much, guys, and I'll be hanging around here later on tonight to answer your questions. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
Now, we have a little gift for Ellis from the campaign team. And we don't know if we ever had one of these before, but we know that you're going to be signing a lot of important documents as the leader of the BC Liberal Party and as future premier. So we got you a cross pen. Don't lose it. People steal these. So there you go, Ellis, from the campaign team. Thanks, folks. And we've had so many, I was getting messages from Randy. We have so many people texting and greeting us from all over, and the numbers of people watching is just incredible. Over 1,300 people watching. We want to thank everybody. For those that are here live with us, we welcome you to stay. We're going to go outside. We've got coffee and donuts and water. Stay in fellowship and hang out with us. Ellis will be doing photos for those that want to do that with Ellis. And come and grab one of the campaign team members. Sign up. Come and say, hey, I want to volunteer. I want to plug into this high energy campaign. If you want to bring a friend. I think Ellis does the best Facebook Live videos of anybody. Don't you agree? He's just amazing. So again, we do need your donations, folks. It takes money to win this campaign. It takes money to make this happen. We appreciate it. We're still doing our fundraising right now. Text 778-718-0985. Text WIN. Send us whatever you can. Sign up as a member. Plug in. Come and be a volunteer. Plug in. We have volunteers that work from home. You can be a volunteer that's calling for Ellis from home, or you can volunteer here from our Supercenter office. Thank you, folks, for coming. We'll see you at the next event.
Ladies and gentlemen, on Facebook Live. Ladies and gentlemen, on Facebook Live, I want to thank you for tuning in. We've had a great event today, over 1,000 people attending live. I want to ask you to please like, share, and comment below. And we're going to do more of these. So please, again, like, share, and comment, and text WIN to the number you see on your screen. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Asim Jawani. I'm the Director of Communications with the Ellis Ross campaign. You've seen the man today himself, Ellis Ross. Thank you for tuning in, and good night.